Hi, Tilty Carlson here. We've seen Jason Voorhees in a whole lot of movies doing a whole lot of things. We've seen him terrorizing campers, we've seen him possessing people's bodies, but did you know that Jason Voorhees actually went into space once? Yes, that actually happened, for better or worse. And that brings us to our 4K release from Arrow Video for the day that I'll be unboxing and reviewing, Jason X. Let's take a look at this release. There we have Jason with his classic hockey mask look and then the upgrade of sorts that he gets in the movie. There's our spine text. Back cover. There is reversible art, so you got the more vintage style art here. There's our spine text. Back cover. There's an ad for something called Alice, Sweet Alice. There's an ad for Arrow Video streaming service on the back. As with most Arrow Video releases, we do get a poster here. We get Arrow Video's art on this side, and we get the vintage art on this side, which of course has the tagline, Evil Gets an Upgrade. As with most Arrow releases, we also get a booklet. In this case, it's in the style of the log of the Grendel, which is the spaceship from the film. Some more imagery from the movie here. As is usually the case, we get some nice essays and photos from the film. In here we have our 4K Ultra High Def disc. Again, as is usually the case with Arrow Video's releases, this does not include a Blu-ray copy of the film. So any screenshots you see in this review are actually taken from the earlier Screen Factory Blu-ray. They are not screen caps of this release and do not represent the picture quality. It is now time for Jason Voorhees to boldly go where no serial killer has gone before in Jason X, a spectacular sci-fi twist on the Friday the 13th franchise brought to life by legendary special effects supervisor Jim Isaac. The year is 2455. Humanity has left an overly populated Earth for a new planet they've christened Earth 2. A crew of scientists on an expedition to Earth 1 discover a research facility near Camp Crystal Lake where Jason Voorhees' body has been cryogenically frozen. They decide to bring him back on their spaceship, but in doing so, seal their doom. As they depart once again for the furthest stars, the masked maniac awakens, ready to kill again. With fan favorite Kane Hodder returning as Jason, this time sporting a new space-age look, and some of the most creative kills in all of slasherdom, Jason X is a rollicking blast from takeoff to landing. Yeah, it's Jason Voorhees in space. That pretty much tells you everything you need to know about this movie, but I will give the filmmakers credit for, despite the shortcomings, actually trying something a little different with the franchise. The movie, of course, follows a crew of students on a spaceship with their professor, and they're going on a studying expedition of sorts. They recover the body of Jason Voorhees, as well as a woman that he'd attempted to kill who had entrapped him in the cryo-freeze. And once they unthaw Jason, because the ship's professor wants to try to sell his body and get plenty of money due to his lack of funds, you can probably guess where things start to go very quickly. I mean, much like Jason Goes to Hell, which was the film that came before, this is definitely not the high watermark of this franchise, but I probably prefer this one over Jason Goes to Hell because it's at least a little more inventive, and it does throw in some sci-fi elements of sorts, and for what it is somewhat entertaining. I mean, you still have idiotic, horny teenagers who serve as Jason's cannon fodder, but seeing some of these young people get their comeuppance is certainly entertaining. And Kane Hodder, of course, the actor who is best known for playing Jason, certainly does what he does best behind the hockey mask. And it is fun and interesting to see where the story goes, despite the fact that it's unabashedly campy, stupid, and ridiculous. That said, though, I did have a smile on my face as I was watching this one, all shortcomings aside. Jason X is a bad movie, no questions asked, but again, I give the filmmakers credit for taking this franchise where it had never been before. Jason X is never going to be a great-looking film just because of all the optical effects. Again, this was a little over 20 years ago when CGI was still fairly primitive considering what we have today. So a lot of the CG effects, particularly for exterior shots of spaceships and some of the rear projection stuff, those look pretty bad. There are some points where it looks a bit monochromatic. Again, this is just the way the movie was shot and made. But the addition of Dolby Vision certainly does help in more than a few scenes. Being this is a film in space and it is some dark corridors and a spaceship, there are going to be a few moments where those deeper, darker black levels certainly come in handy. And the extra push for the colors is certainly nice as well. I have to say, again, not a great looking disc, but it's as good as you can possibly make this film look, and I'll give Arrow Video credit for that. There is a wide array of bonus features on here, most of which are previously released, but we do get a brand new audio commentary track, as well as an archival commentary. There is a new interview with Harry Manfredini, the guy who composed the music for most of the Friday the 13th films. And I actually quite like this interview because he goes into talking about how he was able to start incorporating more spacey sci-fi themes into the music he was composing given the nature of the film. And his experiences on the movie, despite its shortcomings, actually seem quite positive. So that interview is definitely a must-watch if you pick up this release. And then we get a lot of releases going back to the Blu-ray and DVD era as well. So a lot to watch here if you are a fan of Jason Voorhees. Jason X delivers exactly what you'd expect it to deliver. It's Jason Voorhees in space, killing people on a spaceship. How much mileage you'll get out of that, I guess, depends on who you are. I have to say, again, not a great movie by any means, probably not even a good movie by any means, but that doesn't stop me from smiling every single time I watch it. I can recommend this one to any fan of the Friday the 13th series or Jason Voorhees or slasher films in general. How about you? Are you a fan of Jason X? Do you think this is an underrated entry in the Friday the 13th canon? Do you think it's something that probably should have stayed in cryo-freeze? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.